Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to EPHS's National Merit and Advanced Placement Scholar Recognition Ceremony. My name is Steve Rollin, and I am the Gifted and Talented Coordinator at Eden Prairie High School. Due to COVID-19, we are recognizing our national scholars in a video ceremony this year. Today, we are going to define success, celebrate success, and encourage continued success. Success begins with a dream. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. All successful people are big dreamers. They imagine what their future could be, ideal in every aspect, and then they work every day towards their distant vision, goal, or purpose. Success comes from caring for others. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Today, we recognize 34 Eden Prairie students who have shown their success in a big way. Of the 1.5 million students who took the preliminary scholastic aptitude test last year, only 16,000, that's 0.5%, were selected as semifinalists, and only 50,000, that's 5%, were selected as commended students. Our national AP scholars have earned top scores of 8 or more AP exams. The 11 students we recognize today as national AP scholars have made very good use of their learning, and we are here today to recognize their achievement and to encourage them to continue their learning. We also gather here today to recognize educators selected by each of these students as influential in their academic career. Our welcome today comes from Mr. Rob Virgin, our principal at Eden Prairie High School. Before joining Eden Prairie High School, Mr. Virgin served as an assistant principal, social studies teacher, and basketball and soccer coach. Mr. Virgin is currently a University of Minnesota graduate level instructor. He completed his master's degree and administrative licensure there, where he is also writing a dissertation for his PhD in curriculum and instruction. In 2017, he was awarded the Minnesota Local Government Innovation Award. He has also been awarded the Minnesota Fellowship by James Madison Memorial Fellowship Foundation, allowing him to study at Georgetown University. Mr. Virgin has published articles and book chapters in national journals on innovative school leadership, student voice, creating instructional change within the professional learning community, and targeted academic intervention. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Virgin.
Good morning, scholars and families. I'm Principal Rob Virgin, and it is my honor to welcome you to this year's National Scholars event. Scholars, I hope this morning allows you the chance to hit the pause button in your active lives and celebrate all that you've accomplished. It really is amazing. You represent what Eden Prairie Schools strives for: academic challenge and excellence with major commitments to public and community service. I am in awe of all that you take on and all that you accomplish. Without question, your success has been a collaborative pursuit. I want to take a moment to thank some people in particular that have contributed to that for you. Our school board and our district administrators. They set an amazing context for student success across the district. Particularly, our EPHS and other school-based faculty and staff. They have long traditions of serving our students well by innovating, inspiring, making connections, building relationships, finding meaningful learning experiences. This year, they're doing that in brand new ways, and I tell you, I've never been so proud to be part of a team of educators as I watch them consistently make child-centered decisions. Students, I hope you don't let the morning pass without saying thanks to some people that have influenced you. I know this list is long, I know it might take some extra time, but I've never found myself regretting picking up the phone with a simple call of thanks, sending a text or a thank you note. Doesn't take much time, but it can make a big difference, and I think the people will really appreciate your reaching out. My vision for our school is that every student is able to answer yes to 3 key questions. Do I belong here? Is this meaningful? Can I do this? I want to talk for a minute about the third question of can I do this? Because you're at this event, you know that you can find academic success at EPHS. So you might not have thought about this question as much. I want to think about what can I do this might mean for you into your future. I imagine a lot of you are starting to think about what's next for you. As I look at the tools you have, the experiences you have, You have all that you need to take on any challenge that you want. Right now, our world is in need of people with more than just the traditional tools and experiences, though. It's in need of people that are willing to think really, really big, to take on big problems and to take them on with success. So what's needed for that? I have a couple ideas. The first is a willingness to do it, a willingness to say, I don't have all the answers, a willingness to take on something that you might come up short at. You see, successful people in organizations often are afraid to take on challenges, as they might not be able to do them. It might require them to enter into a vulnerable space. I encourage you to do so. The second is listening. I always believe that the answer is in the room. I believe that when we listen to each other, we're able to understand who each other are. I've also noticed that too often in our busy lives, we don't slow down enough to listen, to understand. Instead, we're listening just to respond. I think what we need to do is see each other, to hear each other, to truly value each other so that we can learn from one another. Connected to listening is staying curious. If there is something that's not adding up for you, ask why it is the way it is. If it still isn't, keep asking why until it does. Ultimately, our community needs people with your talent and your experiences to think critically about what's coming next. As you're doing this, have a trust that you can do it. Don't let belief be your barrier. You really can do anything. So again, welcome to this special event, and thank you for the role that each of you plays in making Eden Prairie High School really a standard for excellence and hope in education. I have the best job, I love working with you, and I truly believe that this is your school. So thank you, students. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Virgin, for your encouraging words this morning. Last week was Minnesota Gifted and Talented Youth Week. Governor Walz proclaimed, "Education should foster the development of young minds, leadership skills, creativity, academic abilities, and artistic talents. Development of each individual's intellectual and creative powers will help us meet the challenges of the future." Gifted and talented educators in Eden Prairie schools have been expanding gifted programming over many years, including the KEY program, Mosaic program, honors, AP and college level courses, Young Scholars, and AVID programs. A second-year nursing student told about an experience in nursing school. She said, "Our professor gave us a quiz. I breezed through the questions until I read the last one. What is the first name of the custodian who cleans our school?" Surely this was a joke. I had seen the custodian many times, but how would I know her name? I handed in my paper, leaving the last question blank. Before the class ended, one student asked if the last question would count toward our grade. "Absolutely," the professor said. "In your careers, you will meet many people. All are significant. They deserve your attention and care, even if all you do is smile and say hello." I've never forgotten that lesson. I also learned that her name was Dorothy. The staff in a high school includes teachers and administrators. High school staff also includes counselors, security staff, student center staff, media center, work experience and tutoring staff, student activities, health services, and front office staff, paraprofessional staff, food services, and custodial staff. These staff all provide a strong environment for learning at Eden Prairie High School. We recognize their role in paving students' way to success. Remember, there are two types of education. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other, how to live. Let's not forget the most vital link in education is not just between students and educators. Parents lead the way in guiding their children into successful adulthood. We recognize all the parents as influential educators as well. Now let's introduce someone who knows how to run a successful school district. Our superintendent is here to congratulate you on behalf of all these folks we just mentioned. Dr. Josh Swanson currently serves as superintendent of Eden Prairie Schools. He has held a variety of roles within several school districts throughout his career in education. Dr. Swanson has previously served as a paraprofessional, teacher, coach, athletic director, assistant principal, consultant, Student Support Services Administrator, Director of Technology and Information Services, Executive Director of Technology, and Assistant Superintendent. Dr. Swanson is passionate about the mission of Eden Prairie Schools and working with all stakeholders to inspire each student and strengthen our community. He is frequently out in schools and the city working with staff, parents, and community members. Dr. Swanson is active in state-level leadership, working with individuals, groups, and audiences. He holds a bachelor's degree from the University of St. Thomas and a master's degree and a doctorate in educational leadership from St. Mary's University. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Swanson.
Good morning, students, staff, and families. This is Josh Swanson, Superintendent of Eden Prairie Schools. Although I wish we could be together at this time, I am so excited to be a part of this virtual celebration that recognizes the hard work of our student honorees and the support and efforts of our staff and families. Our mission in Eden Prairie Schools is to inspire each student to learn continuously so they are empowered to reach personal fulfillment and contribute purposefully to our ever-changing world. I speak about the word each and inspired with our staff and community on a regular basis. That word each means recognizing the unique and special interests, talents, and gifts that individual students possess. Being honored this morning authentically demonstrates so many of those passions, goals, and the hard work undertaken by our students and inspired by those who surround and care for them. We are brought together today around celebrating our students who are being acknowledged as tremendous scholars. But we celebrate so much more than that today. We celebrate a tradition of excellence that is dependent on the support of an entire community. Teachers, parents, principals, support staff, and community members, thank you for all that you have done. Your care, interest, high expectations, supports, nudges, and active engagement with students sets the stage. Students, your pride, work ethic, academic achievement, and success inspires us. You extend the legacy of Eden Prairie Schools. Excellence is built based on so many people along the way being involved. Our community has a lot to be proud of, and students, you are direct evidence. You join the ranks of some incredible people that have come before you, and you will inspire others who will follow. We can't wait to see the success that you will have and what you will accomplish in the future as you contribute to our community in meaningful ways. You carry on the tradition of Eden Prairie excellence. Take time today to celebrate together, and congratulations to you and your families.
Thank you, Dr. Swanson, for your kind words this morning. We have heard from the superintendent, and now let's talk about our influential educators. Each year, the scholars select an influential educator to join them at this event. The influential educators that receive the most votes from the scholars are asked to give a speech at this event. They become a Hall of Fame influential educator and are invited back to this event each year. We recognize our Hall of Fame influential educators today: Michael Holm, Vince Thomas, Steve Swadzinski, Craig Hollenbeck, Mike Moss, Bill Prem, Tom Halloran, Marty Teigen, Mary Strampy, Kristen Gable, Brenda Johnson, Melissa Damon, Josh Wenzel, John Pogachnik, Alice Price, Angelique Rowell, Mark Kingsbury, Olena Larionova, Laurel Nebeker, and Todd Organ. 2 influential educators will be added this year to our Hall of Fame influential educators. These educators were selected by many scholars this year as their influential educator, and they are amazing teachers. These educators follow the adage of success that education is simply the soul of a society as it passes from one generation to the next. Our first influential educator speaking this year is Leslie Lohan. Leslie Lohan teaches 6th grade Mosaic at Prairie View, all subjects. She loves bringing education to life. Ms. Lohan has been teaching for 15 years. She loves to read, go fishing, and getting lost in astronomy. On a personal note, Leslie and I have worked together in the EP Gifted and Talented program for many years. She helps me get beyond linear thinking and figuring out what is best for the students from many different angles. Please welcome Ms. Leslie Lohan.
Good morning. I'm Leslie Lohan and teach 6th grade Mosaic at Prairie View. As an elementary teacher, I was humbled to be recognized by senior students. I wondered what stuck with them from elementary school. Upon reflection, I believe that it comes down to 2 statements I unfailingly make each year. While they're quick sentences, they carry a lot of weight and meaning behind them. My first statement is, it takes a village to raise a child. Welcome to our village. My second sentiment is, once your teacher, always your teacher. You may come back to me at any time for support, learning, or even just to chat. Each year, as I follow the accomplishments of our students, I am truly amazed at all of their work, from sports, debate, teacher kickoff programs, and so much more. Dave Napanda, Martin Zhao, and Prayag Rajagopalan, I couldn't be prouder of you, the people you have become, and all the triumphs thus far. Before continuing, I want to preface my following comments with the fact that each year I have my sixth graders write a letter to themselves and I mail it to them their senior year. I've included a couple of those messages from each of the letters that they wrote themselves 6 years ago. Davna, in your letter you noted, "Dear self, I hope you still believe that life is beautiful." Yes, Davna, it is, and you've made it even more beautiful with all of your success. Additionally, you also indicated that you wanted to live your dreams, but you understand that failure is always a part of the road. Davna, I have no doubt that you will live your dreams out and do nothing but learn from any failure that you may face. Now let's spend some time with Prayag Rajagopalan. You quoted, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." Albert Einstein. You certainly embraced that quote. You made sure you moved students by being the captain of a math team, volunteering at North Memorial, and if that wasn't enough moving, you moved the bar with a perfect score on your ACT. One of my personal favorites, however, was your next comment. "I will not have a girlfriend." Wise choice. Those girlfriends have a tendency to take us away from our studies. Martin Zhao, you left us with a little bit of Latin upon leaving Prairie View. Optimum est non potest, or the best it can be. You have proven your aptitude and commitment to being the best that you can be by participating in Senior Young Artist Competition, National Academic Quiz Tournament, and being a swimming and diving sectional champ. You also wrote, "If all else fails, I got community college or the military." The sentence, although funny, expresses that even when life could throw you a curveball, you will still strive to be the best at any scenario. In conclusion, I want to recognize that everyone here has embraced the pillars of being a National Honor Society scholar. You've shown exemplary work and leadership in all of your endeavors. Your next challenge is to go take on the world, make it a better place, and most of all, always remember, once your teacher, always your teacher, and my village will always have a place for you. Stay in touch.
Thank you, Ms. Lohan, for your wonderful, encouraging words for our scholars. Our second influential educator speaking this year is Kelsey Snyder. Kelsey Snyder teaches at Eden Prairie High School AP US History, Psychology, Assassination Fascination, and Intro to Social Justice. She's been teaching for 14 years. For fun, she says she reads Phoner, watches Adam Norris videos, teaches continuity and change over time essays, and writes document-based questions. She grades long essay questions and listens to Eye of the Tiger. On a personal note, Kelsey and I have worked together as staff advisors for Dare to Be Real. Kelsey has helped me become an advocate against racism. When I am around Kelsey, I feel like I am a student, since her calm leadership paves the way to discuss difficult issues. Please welcome Ms. Kelsey Snyder.
Hello, everyone. My name's Miss Snyder, and I'm an APUSH Assassination Fascination and Intro to Social Justice teacher here at EPHS. I want to wholeheartedly congratulate you on all of your exceptional academic accomplishments that led to your attendance at this event. I am proud of your accomplishments, but more importantly, the hard work and dedication it took to get here. The fact that here is on a screen and not in person is yet another reminder of the reality of 2020 and the time in which we're living. As a history teacher, I'm obligated to remind you of its historic nature, but as an educator and person who truly cares about you, I want to remind you of the importance of the time for you personally. Great tragic events are lived by individuals. We have to make our way through them. And it's in the tough moments of life that your character is most tested, displayed, and ultimately built. Eleanor Roosevelt was spot on when she said a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets into hot water. Our true character comes out in times of struggle. It's easy to be happy, kind, and fair when life is easy, when everything's going your way. It's much tougher to maintain those characteristics when things get tough, really tough. We talked about it in APUSH all the time, right? How do you respond? Are you resilient? Do you show grit? Are you feeling sorry for yourself, lashing out at others, or reflecting and acting on how to be better and how to do better? While that probably brings you back to the early tests in APUSH, really we were hoping to teach you a little bit about life. Bad things are going to happen. There's going to be tough times. Frederick Douglass said it best when he said, without a struggle, there can be no progress. So what are you going to do when those tough times hit? Maybe you'll be like Washington and change the game when you can't beat someone else at their own. You knew I had to work him in, right? Maybe you'll be like Shirley Chisholm when, in her own words, brought in a folding chair when they wouldn't give her a seat at the table. Or maybe you'll do something no one else has ever done before. Whatever you do, though, be sure to be authentically you. Congratulations on your amazing accomplishment, and best of luck in all of your future endeavors.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder, for your wonderful, encouraging words for our scholars. While you are thinking about the outside world, we also need to reflect on the accomplishments of our scholars and influential educators in our audience. I asked each scholar to list someone they considered to be an influential educator in their life. The scholars nominated a wide range of educators. These educators have helped students learn that if opportunity doesn't knock, then build a door. Let's congratulate our influential educators. Mark Anderson, he teaches at Eden Prairie High School, AP Microeconomics, and Business and Marketing courses. He is also the Career and Technical Education Coordinator for our school. He's been teaching for 24 years. For fun, he wears jeans, turns around in elevators to face other people. Josh Axedman teaches at Eden Prairie High School, honors English 10, English 11, creative writing, and film studies. He's been teaching for 11 years. For fun, he plays board games and card games with friends, and he plays trucks, robots, and Legos with his boys AJ and Sam. Taylor Bothan teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Spanish 1 all the way up through AP Spanish Literature. He's been teaching for 6 years. For fun, Taylor likes cooking, camping, and do-it-yourself house projects. Jessica Breed teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Computer Science, Algebra 2, Honors Algebra 2, and Algebra 1. She's been teaching for 20 years. For fun, Jessica listens to audiobooks, runs, bikes, and tries to learn something new as often as possible. Katie Foley teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Biology, Honors Biology, and AP Biology. She's been teaching for 16 years. For fun, she enjoys going up to their cabin and spending time fishing and hiking. She also enjoys exercising and leading group fitness classes. When she is not active, Katie likes to read, cook, and bake. Shelley Grunwald teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Algebra 1 and AP Calculus AB and BC. She's been teaching for 30 years. For fun, she does math, loves to hang out with her family, kayak, travel with friends, and attend sporting events. Lori Hennen teaches at Eden Prairie High School, French levels 1 through 4. She's been teaching for 30 years. For fun, Lori enjoys spending time with her family. She really enjoys walking, reading, and doing crossword puzzles. Travel is another of her favorite things, and the North Shore is one of her favorite places. She loves being outside and exploring the beauty of our world. Christina Herring teaches at Eden Prairie High School, honors chemistry, grades 10 through 12. She's been teaching for 21 years, 10 of them at Eden Prairie. For fun, she loves teaching. Also, she likes to cook and spend time with her family and 2 dogs. Elizabeth Jackson teaches at Eden Prairie High School, grades 9 through 12, band. She's been teaching for 33 years. For fun, she hangs out at the cabin with her husband, collects rocks, rides her horse Tiba, and rage walks while listening to Prince. John Kale teaches at Eden Prairie High School, English grades 9, 10, and 11. He's been teaching for 31 years. For fun, John is an adult piano student enjoying taking lessons. Kevin Luker, Eden Prairie High School teacher of social studies, all subjects. 24 years teaching. For fun, he enjoys fly fishing, outdoor activities, baseball, coaching baseball, and track and field. Dan Murray teaches at Eden Prairie High School and Central Middle School German and history. He's been teaching for 33 years. For fun, he likes bicycling, travel, and karate. Chelsea Olsen teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Spanish. For 10 years, she's been teaching. For fun, Chelsea loves traveling, baking, reading, exercising, and playing with her son, Cruz. Greg Sarles teaches at Eden Prairie High School, AP Statistics and FST. He's been teaching for 32 years. For fun, he enjoys fishing, gardening, spending time outdoors with his wife, Andrea, and 11-year-old daughter, Ella. Scott Sales teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Business and Marketing. He's been teaching for 4 years. For fun, Scott likes to refurbish old Nintendo systems. Carol Snyder teaches at Eden Prairie High School, Honors Chemistry and AP Chemistry. She's been teaching for 21 years. For fun, she enjoys golfing, hiking, skiing, and travel. Mary Kay Spangberg teaches at Oak Point Elementary School. She is a first grade teacher. She's been teaching for 31 years. For fun, she loves to go on trips with her family and fishing, tubing, and boarding on their boat. Erin Webster. Erin teaches at Central Middle School. She teaches Advanced English 8 and English 8. She has been teaching for 18 years. For fun, she enjoys fishing, canoeing, hiking, anything outdoors, and reading in a hammock. Kirsten Welter teaches at Eden Prairie High School. She teaches biology and advanced biology anatomy. For fun, Kirsten likes to travel, run, kayak, read, craft, and is an avid EPHS superfan. And to our scholars, I encourage you to email the influential educator you nominated and tell him or her personally how much they mean to you. Now we will focus on the stars of today's event, our National Merit and AP scholars. Our scholars have learned that it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. Let's review the achievements of these scholars. National Merit semifinalists are the top 0.5% of all students nationwide taking the PSAT. National Merit commended students are the top 5% of all students taking the PSAT. National AP scholars have high scores on all AP exams taken, including scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of these exams. The National Merit Scholarship Corporation and Eden Prairie Schools have prepared certificates of congratulation for each scholar, which will be mailed home. Our first scholar is Rashmi Acharya. She is a commended student who is involved in mock trial, DECA, speech, and piano. Rashmi is a National Honor Society volunteer and a research volunteer at a local hospital, also on the EP City Council Student Commission, and the Chinmaya Mission Youth Volunteering Group. She plans on becoming a pediatric neurologist or a neurosurgeon. Amal Adam. Amal is a commended student. She is involved in UNICEF Club, Dare to Be Real, Muslim Student Association, and the Black Student Union. For community work, Amal has been a summer teacher assistant at her mosque and volunteers at People Serving People. She is also a column writer at Affinity magazine. Amal plans to be a trauma or cardiothoracic surgeon. Ryan Alexander. Ryan is a commended student and a National AP Scholar. He is involved in robotics, ultimate frisbee, and the board game club. He is a coach of a middle school robotics team. He plans on being a software engineer or data scientist. Siddharth Bamaretti is a commended student and a National AP Scholar. He is involved in Quiz Bowl and DECA. For community work, Siddharth is involved in National Honor Society. He is an emergency department volunteer at a local hospital and a public policy intern at the EP Chamber of Commerce. For work, he is a grader at the Kumon Learning Center. He plans a career in medicine or teaching. Jonas Brown is a commended student. He is involved in Quiz Bowl, robotics, and German. For community work, he has been involved in a senior intern project on the pandemic experience interviews for the Hennepin County Museum. He plans a career as a writer. Rushil Desai is a National AP Scholar. He is involved in DECA and the Computer Science Honor Society. Rushil has been involved in Connect to Care as a volunteer and has earned the Presidential Volunteer Service Gold Award. Rushil plans a career in business or computer science. Jennifer Fang is a National AP Scholar. She is involved in cross country, track and field, and plays piano. She is involved in the National Honor Society for volunteer work and also the Key Club. She works as a sales associate at a local retailer. Jennifer plans a career in international relations or international business. Akshitha Ganuga is a commended student. She is involved in debate, speech, and mock trial. For volunteer work, she has volunteered her time at the India Association of Minnesota. She plans a career in foreign service or as a human rights attorney. Prabhav Gupta. He is a commended and National AP Scholar. He is involved in the Science Olympiad and is involved in Taekwondo. For community work, Prabhav has been involved in National Honor Society, trace tutoring, the EPIC Summer Camp as a volunteer, and the Chinmaya Mission. He works as a soccer referee and supervisor and plans a career in computer science, data science, computer engineering, and chemical engineering. John Hartl is a commended student. He is involved in football, hockey, lacrosse, and DECA. His volunteer work includes National Honor Society, Young Men's Service League, and he's a student representative to the EP Parks and Recreation Commission. He has worked as a summer camp counselor and plans a career in either finance, computer science, or Spanish. Michelle Huang is a commended student. She is involved in the swim and dive team, student council, interior design club, and Spanish club. Her volunteer work includes National Honor Society, Key Club, and as an assignment helper in the Eden Prairie schools. She works as a shift leader at a local restaurant and plans a career in biomedical engineering or a career in the STEM field. Pranav Kartha. He is a commended student on the math team, Quiz Bowl, and tennis teams. For volunteer work, he has been involved in the senior intern program, and his career is to be determined. Elizabeth Kuznetsov is a commended student and National AP Scholar. She has been involved in band, wind ensemble, and ballet. Her volunteer work includes trace tutoring, National Honor Society, and an adult daycare center volunteer. She has worked as a research assistant in assistive robotics at George Washington University and plans a career in medicine. Faith Larson. She is a commended student, involved in the swim and dive team and orchestra. For volunteer work, she has been a confirmation student leader at her church. She plans a career in political science or data analysis. Ty Lloyd is a commended student. He is involved in DECA, and for volunteer work has been involved in National Honor Society and Key Club, also tutors as a volunteer. Ty plans a career in medicine. Ryan Michael is a commended student. He is involved in robotics, ultimate frisbee, the ASL club, and the computer club. For volunteer work, Ryan is involved in Key Club, middle school robotics mentoring, and serves as a robotics summer camp counselor. He has a part-time job at a local retailer and plans a career in mechanical engineering. Hannah Murshariff. She is a commended student who is involved in band, chamber winds, ukulele club, writing club, all-state band, and orchestra. Her volunteer work is at her local church. She plans a career as a neurosurgeon, neurologist, or psychiatrist. Preeti Muruganandan is a commended student. She is involved in volleyball, French club, and tennis photography. For volunteer work, she is involved in Key Club, the Sunrise Movement, and has been participating in sandwich drives for Minneapolis neighborhoods. She works as a cashier at a local retailer and plans a career as a psychologist or a pediatrician. Nwawang Namru is a commended student. She is involved in robotics and DECA. Her volunteer work includes Key Club, Phi Theta Kappa Service Committee book coordinator, volunteering at a local library, and at Prop Shop. She works as a barista at a local coffee shop and plans a career as a medical doctor. Devna Panda is a semifinalist and a National AP Scholar. She is involved in mock trial, DECA, and music. Her volunteer work includes trace tutoring and volunteering at a summer camp. She works as a math tutor at Kumon Learning and plans a career in medicine. Anna Patton is a semifinalist. She is involved in orchestra, theater, and soccer. Her volunteer work includes trace tutoring, political campaign work, and serving as an election judge. She plans a career in social justice or immigration law. Jillian Pearson is a commended student. She is involved in theater, choir, women's rights club, badminton, and dance. Her volunteer work includes National Honor Society and working as a student commissioner on the EP Human Rights and Diversity Commission. She also works as a Sunday school teacher at her church in a volunteer format. She plans a career in public policy or in government. Andrew Peng is a semifinalist and National AP Scholar. He is involved in Quiz Bowl, math team, orchestra, and tennis. He is also a volunteer at our local library, and he started a tutoring group over the summer. He plans a career in computer science or engineering. Jacob Peterson. He's a commended student who is involved in concert orchestra, a musical, swimming and diving, trajectories, and Quiz Bowl. His volunteer work is Key Club. His career goal is to be determined. Prayag Rajagopalan is a semifinalist and National AP Scholar. He is involved in math team, Quiz Bowl, and tennis. His volunteer work is at a local hospital and trace tutoring, and he also helped start a tutoring group over the summer. He plans a career as a neurosurgeon or neurologist. Tanay Salunki is a National AP Scholar. He is involved in swimming and diving and Young Republicans. His volunteer work includes National Honor Society and the Key Club. He works as a swim instructor and plans a career in finance, business, management, or actuarial science. Luke Schreifels is a commended student. He is involved in band and in Guard. He has also served as a trace tutor. He plans a career in nursing or biomedical research. Ishan Shetty is a semifinalist involved in robotics, math team, and the Futurists Academy. He has run a computer science summer camp for elementary school students and has also been involved in an NSA summer camp for cybersecurity. He plans a career in computer science or engineering. Anisha Sinkatwadia is a semifinalist. She is involved in speech, debate, youth in government, and the Spanish Club. Her volunteer work includes working in the Climate Change Action Group and trace tutoring. She has worked as a math tutor in the summer and plans a career as an aerospace engineer or an astronaut. James Sweeney is a semifinalist. He is involved in Quiz Bowl and has volunteered at his church, including serving meals regularly at a homeless shelter and going on mission trips. He plans a career in government, public policy, or history. Pranav Vadhul is a semifinalist. He is involved in the Science Olympiad, tennis, Quiz Bowl, and Connect 9 groups. His volunteer work includes work as a student election judge, student commissioner to the city council, and a food delivery driver for the elderly. He works as a tutor or an instructor at the Command Learning Center and plans a career as a physician. Riley Wilson is a commended student involved in orchestra, the Gay Student Alliance, theater, and the Women's Rights Club. He is involved in volunteer work including tutoring and Girl Scouts, and plans a career as a clinical psychologist, therapist, and music therapist. Dylan Yang is a national AP scholar, has been involved in cross country, track and field, and DECA. He has done some volunteer work in trace tutoring, National Honor Society, and volunteering for a local nonprofit called Connect to Care. He has worked as a caddy at a local golf course and plans a career in business, finance, or marketing. And finally, Martin Zhao is a semifinalist. He is involved in wind ensemble, swim team, future problem solving, and quiz bowl. He started an online tutoring service and works currently as a teaching assistant for a 6th grade math class at his Chinese school. He plans a career as a web developer, data scientist, or software engineer. Wow, what amazing accomplishments by our scholars. We are so proud of you. And now let's look forward to success in your lives ahead. Looking to the future, keep in mind that neither success nor failure is final. Keep going. We have come to the end of our program today. We will share your honor with the whole school. Look for the banners by the east entrance that honor all the scholars, and look for the photo collage of scholars by the south entrance. Whether you are still in school or well beyond school, I hope each of you are able to succeed in finding enjoyable, challenging, and compassionate work in your life. Thank you for watching today.